Good day, my name is Kemar Stuart, and the theme of this video is the Barbados economy, tourism, and BERT. Now, Barbados' share of Caribbean tourism has been on a decline since 1995, stemming from 4.5% of Caribbean share to 2.5% of Caribbean share outwards to 2013, which showed a slight rebound. Caribbean share for tourism in Barbados capped off at 3% at the end of 2018. As we know, the tourism sector is highly connected to business activities in the US, UK, and Canada. And pre-pandemic, Barbados was becoming less attractive due to limited resources, natural that is, and cultural experiences. Barbados is an expensive destination, and factors such as airfare, accommodation costs, gas, and food prices continue to put Barbados out of the reach of the average tourist. The strength of the Barbados dollar results in a high cost of living, and as reflected in the high wages in the tourism sector and the high cost of doing business as compared to other Caribbean countries who may offer a similar product. In 2020, the government of Barbados implemented a set of taxes aimed at increasing revenue collection by the government from the tourism sector. These taxes are a rise in VAT from 7.5% to 10%, the airline and tourism development tax on air passengers, the increase of property tax on hotels, the room rate levy, a 10% tax on short-term renting, for example Airbnb. These taxes increase the cost of travel to an already expensive Barbados. However, due to large concessions in the sector, one can understand the rationale for taxing the tourism sector. After the pandemic clears, there will be fierce competition for visitor arrivals in almost every country who focuses on tourism. The demand for travel to Barbados from source markets will be subdued due to the new travel protocols which will be in place, the legal impediments which may arise from Barbados' move to take Republican status, unemployment and reduced incomes in all economies wherever the country attracts visitors from. In 2019, the government of Barbados planned an injection of $400 million of foreign direct investment into the tourism sector. This was between the years of 2019 and 2022. However, due to the pandemic, the sector received $300 million under the BERT program from the government revenues, as opposed to foreign direct investment. Now, this was due to the reservation of investors, yes, and also the fallout from the pandemic. The injection allowed hotel infrastructure to be improved and jobs to be retained to an extent. But one must tackle the structural issues that the Barbados tourism product faces, as I would have explained above. With the new tourism entities coming on stream any minute, the structure of how these entities operate must be relooked, as subsidies, allowance of discrimination of unionized workers, changes in labor laws to benefit employers, tax holidays, no to low import duties, and large concessions as used as tools to bring down the cost of tourism entities. Many Caribbean countries attempt to outdo each other in offering sweetheart deals to woo big investors, in which residents are then allowed to get jobs within the tourism sector. The drawback of this practice is causing governments around the region to lose hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue that can be collected by respective governments. This practice also leaks foreign exchange, as these entities use international vendors to supply themselves whenever they set up shop in Barbados and other economies across the Caribbean. I therefore suggest Barbados, in the context of an IMF program, recognizes exposure to tourism and tackle the structural economic issues associated with the tourist industry. The BERT plan rallies around a strong performance in tourism, but given the pandemic, it calls for a revamp of how the tourism services are delivered, as the entire survival of the economy is too overly dependent on the arrival of tourists in the country. Thank you very much. My name is Kemar Stuart, and I appreciate you listening.